So the project called Daily Bread. 7 days without bread made 1 week. Not W-E-E-K, but W-E-A-K. And so, bread got many different meanings. For me, this project was like, I've been through a lot of stuff this year. I lost 9 people. I lost 4 of them in 4 weeks, you know what I'm saying, before I went on tour with b.i.g. And so, like, I just wanted people to be able to, like, feel, like, the pain and the struggle, and the triumph, too, the good things that I've been through this year. It's a scripture in the Bible that says, give us this day our daily bread. And, I feel like we also on the grind out here every day trying to get the bread. You know what I'm saying? That's every hustler's, world, ambition, dream, prayer, whatever you want to call it. So I named it Daily Bread, for that reason. And I feel like, words also can be, considered bread, And so I'm giving folks that too, just the good words, the enlightenment, all that, daily bread, man. Shout out to my dog, Joe Dent. He always been holding me down on the artwork. I did that really because those are the essentials. Like, especially if you live in the ATL, we smoking the backwoods on the daily, you know what I'm saying? It just got to the point in the A where you got to be strapped up, you know what I'm saying? Like, we already burning, so it's good weed, on the picture too. You know what I'm saying? And you got to get your money, you know what I'm saying? That's the daily bread, so that's what we're trying to get. So the whole picture just really embodies what the music is about, the feel of the music, everything. When you see it, it feel like daily bread, you know what I'm saying? So, yo, it's going down. This was the perfect timing. The crazy thing is, like, some people really didn't want me to release this project at this time. But I felt like, man, like, see, the way I move, man, like, if you watch even if you talk to millionaires and people that just really make big power moves, they move off of intuition and they learn how to, like, feel the beat of the street. They learn how to move off of what their heart say. And for me, it was just like the timing was right. You know what I mean? Like, I had people that wanted me to just go ahead and put out a single. Man, fuck the mixtape or fuck the album shit. You done did that before. It's time for you to pipe up a single. And although I feel like, that's gonna come out of this, I feel like I always wanna feed the fans first. And I always wanna give people, what's going on in my life for real. Like, I'm not the type of artist that's just gonna throw singles at the wall, just for money. I'm not gonna do none of this shit just for the money. I do this shit because I love to do it and for my fans. And I'm really out here, what I would feel like I'm really giving people game and I'm really feeding the streets, you know what I'm saying? On the SoundCloud version, it's gonna be 7 songs. And these songs, when you look on the track listing, they won't be numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's gonna be listed as days of the week. So it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And these songs fit the moods of the day, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to give people those 7 songs. There'll be more songs that'll be bonus on the iTunes version. But I wanted to give people these songs, really to be creative and to put more into the project. Like I said, like, this is art for me as well. Like, it's one thing to just throw out a collection of songs, but when you look at the whole project and you start to listen to it, you'll hear even yourself from the skits to the way that the songs are placed, that it flows like a week, like a 7-day week. And, that was on purpose, for the people, so, for sure. Man, that process is always a fun and a stressful process, Like, the way I normally do it is I get with what I would call, like, my tastemakers, or my circle of influence. And I sit with those people in different groups in different settings and just go over the music, vibe, listen, sequence, and see what the way they might feel about certain things. And then I get back in my room after it's all done and I done met with everybody, and I just kind of just digest it for myself and say, okay, this is what's gonna be complete for me. So, that circle, includes, like, everybody in the Cool Club, my boy DJ Scream, DJ Burn One, DJ Toomp was, a part of making this. JL was a part of making this. All my management team. I like to include everybody, in on the process just because I respect the opinion of those that's around me. You know what I mean? But then at the end of the day, I digest it all and I do what I feel like is best for the project and for what I'm trying to express and get out. Well, you know, the flow of the project is the days of the week. But, you know, like, again, for me, in my mind, when I'm thinking about a Monday, it's like, you know, it's the start of a new week. You know what I'm saying? The project comes on with more of a motivation, a hard, a strong motivation off the bat. It's a song called Stupid Rich, produced by Corey Mo. And it's like, you know, if I had a dime for every single time that you niggas lie, I'd be stupid rich. But it's like a motivational song for the streets, you know, to get out and get your money and get your paper. And then, you know, it goes on to the second track, which is Tuesday. It's called The Ruler. I was in Denver working with my boy, John Bonus, and the cat was in the studio by the name of Cali. And he had a track, man, it was crazy. So goddamn, we loaded that motherfucker up, and bam, that was Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? It just had a nice ride to it, flowing off of Monday. It like, man, stay in the groove, you know what I'm saying? Get that money. And then Wednesday is hump day. Now, any week for most people that's working, you know what I'm saying, whatever you do, it's the middle of the week, you know what I'm saying? That's why we call it hump day. And so, you know, I put a track that was, again, a little bit more strong in motivation to kind of get you over the hump. Like, this is a CD that you want to pop in and it just become your soundtrack for the week. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my mind, I think certain people when it's Wednesday, you gonna put on Wednesday as soon as you jump in the wheel. You see what I'm saying? So, Wednesday is Destined. I actually got that track from TJ DJs. He sent out a blast on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, you know, just asking producers to send tracks from everywhere. And I'm going through the tracks on the plane and flying here and flying there. And I was in Denver again with my man John Bonus. And TJ sent this track and I had to record it. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. Thursday is with my man JL, you know what I'm saying? JL part of the Cool Club, you know what I mean? JL did a lot of stuff with me and Bankroll Fresh. For those who familiar with the Dirty Game song that Bankroll released, you know what I'm saying? The late Bankroll Fresh, you know, JL produced that, you know what I'm saying? So, and he produced a lot of stuff on my last EP called Homesick. But we did a track called Can't Be Life, and it's one of TJ's favorite songs. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's Thursday, so you about to get paid on Friday. You know what I'm saying? And it's just really the track that just talk about, like, man, paycheck bot gone for you spent that bitch. Working for somebody else, you can't get that rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some real shit. And it just talk about really like a mind frame I had when I got fired from my job at one point. In the song I talk about, you know what I mean? I got fired. Thank God I ran the bands up. Now, I ain't telling anybody go and do what I did, but life 30 curveballs, keep your eyes on the pitch. That's life, you know what I'm saying? So that track just really talking about before the weekend come, and then it's Friday, you in the ATL, okay, it's m.y.o.b. Now, you know in the ATL on Friday, really every day in the ATL, crazy. But on Friday, you know what I mean, for those in the working class, it's paycheck day, you know what I'm saying? So you falling in the club, so you know this track really is that type of vibe. It's called m.y.o.b, Mind Your Own Business. I was just minding my business, you know what I'm saying? And then you got Saturday. Saturday is called So High. It's produced by my man K.E. on the track, produced that. He produced that one, and he produced m.y.o.b actually, K.E. on the track. Keith Dawson recorded it for me. But, you know, that's another dope track featuring my boy J. Rain. J. is also a part of the Cool Club. For those who don't know, Cool Club is my record label. I got a record label, Kissy Lee and J. Rain are both on that record label. And we got some producers on there, JL. We got some DJs, Cool Club DJs, salute DJ Mike Mars and the whole Cool Club DJs. You know, we got some other people too, Chef Marlo as well. But on this particular track, it's my boy J. Rain. And it's a dope record, man. You know what I'm saying? It's already been playing in the clubs and on the radio, satellite radio, and on 107.9 here in the ATL. So I'm going to the club tonight. We spending that, you feel me? And then the last day of the week is Sunday. And that record is called Know That You Will. I actually just shot the video for that, like, just not this past weekend, but the weekend before that. Me and Kissy Lee shot that one. And it's produced by Tino. Stewie Rock linked me up with Tino. Tino, a dope producer. He produced another record with me and Trinidad James and Bankroll on it too. But man, that's one of my favorite tracks on the whole project. You know what I mean? It just got like a real crazy vibe to it. And the lyrics, the flow crazy. And what I'm talking about is just one of them tracks where you got to feel it. You know what I'm saying? The bonus records on there, I got a record with my man Ty Dolla called b.i.g. You know what I mean? That joint just came out a couple of days ago. Salute to Ty Dolla, he killed that shit, you know what I mean? Like, anytime he get on the track and he talking about something that got something to do with like the homies or shit that been going down in the streets, you know what I mean? Like, I always believe him, you know what I'm saying? Because it like when somebody's singing or somebody rapping, they got a certain conviction in their voice. You know what I mean? It's one thing for you to say something, you know, it might be some cool shit to say. It's another thing for you to say something and people feel that shit. You know what I mean? Like when you look at artists like Pac, or you look at like Pimp C, or you look at like, or b.i.g, they would say certain lines and you would just feel that shit. It might not even necessarily be about what they said, it was just the way they said it, the conviction in that. Pimp C or say some shit, I'm coming down, you know what I'm saying? And you just knew he was for real, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, whatever, man, but I just feel like that's one of the records, you know what I'm saying? You can just feel what I'm saying, and the whole project is really like that. The record with Ty is good. The Journey is on there, produced by Chris Pritham. That's a dope record, just showing the skills and the bars in that joint. I got A-Man on there with DJ Burn One. Salute DJ Burn One. I always work with him on all my projects since the beginning. Since Summer Dreams, I've had DJ Burn One on every project I ever done. And that's just because I respect Burn One, and I always want those that's been grinding with me from the beginning to get they just due. You know what I'm saying? Cause real shit, a lot of time, man, people start out with you and they working with you out pro bono from the beginning, just to help you get out the grind, to help you make it or help you achieve your dream. You might not have shit to pay them from the beginning. So get what? When you do get something, you need to make sure you look out for them same niggas. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to switch the game up. And that's why I always stick with those guys that helped me from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Burn One. I include Scream and all my shit like that too. So that what going on, man. And the last track on there called Tom Sawyer. That's a track. Make sure you need to listen to that one. I got down did that one at 5 o'clock in the morning in Houston, the day after Thanksgiving. I'm talking about Thanksgiving on that motherfucker. I was on tour with Big Crit, 39 cities, and my family met me in Houston for Thanksgiving. So I was telling my mama, you know what I'm saying, I ain't had no thanks to give to them fuck niggas, you know what I mean? But Daily Bread, man, it's a dope project. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let the people call it a classic. I ain't gonna call it a classic. I'm gonna let the people call it that. The song with Ty Dolla is actually produced by them damn twins from Jagged Edge. And I thought that was special, man. Like, we recorded that track in Lithonia. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Lithonia. And that was like around the time when my boy Bankroll had been passing. I lost my boy Jermaine. Jermaine on my arm, you feel me? My man committed suicide. I was on my way to go get him some tickets to my show. And I was on the phone with him. And in 15 minutes, you know what I'm saying, he committed suicide. I still had to go and do the show. But man, that month when I just allowed them 4 people in them 4 weeks was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like the first week, my homeboy, his stepmom got stabbed to death by his little brother. You know what I'm saying? Like right down the street from where we grew up at. And it's like my best homie, you know what I'm saying? The second week after that, my boy committed suicide. The third week, Bankroll Fresh died. And me and Bankroll was working on the project together at the time, you know what I'm saying, when Bankroll passed. And then the fourth week, my man Dre passed. And he was on his way to Atlanta. You know, he was an artist as well. And he had been talking to me about coming to the A like the week before. It was just a real tough week, man. You know what I'm saying? Even being on tour I've been on tour. I went on 3 national tours like in the last year and a half. You know what I'm saying? I went on tour with Jaron Benton for like 24 days. And then I went on tour with Big Crit for 39 days. I did my own tour called the No Handouts Tour, and that was like 10 days. And then I went on tour with b.i.g for 44 days. So I had all this shit going on, you know what I mean, at the time, and I had then lost 9 people. And it was just like, during the process, of course, you know, I was like working, and me and Bankroll was working toward putting out the project we had together. So this was like, you know what I mean, like I had to put that on pause for a minute, you know what I mean, and people don't get a chance to hear it. Some people already heard some of the songs. But this was like, man, like, it was like a therapeutic project, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, I felt like it was much needed, not only for me, but for the rap game and for the industry. Like, sometimes, man, like, you know, we want to party and have fun, and that shit's on the project, but, like, it's a lot of shit going on right now in just the world, in America, and, you know what I mean, folks dying and then getting shot and police killing people, and, man, they was just like me just saying, like, to the world, like, hey, look, we need to wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to get focused on ourselves and get out here and be concerned about the right things. And a lot of the stuff that was going on around me really woke me up for me to understand what was really important in life. So, you know, for those that really get a chance to listen to the project, you're gonna get something out of it. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee that for sure.